Hey Tiger Town, what's going on, man? Levi Mitchell here. So I'm going to be bringing to you guys a 4-part series brought to you by Hercules tires. It's going to be moments of strength. Times in my career, I've had to deal with adversity. I've had to push through mentally, physically. We just wanted to be able to give you guys a deeper dive into my career and what I've been through. On the first episode here, the first story that I would like to go through personally for me, which was probably my biggest and toughest moment that I had to go through, which was my first big national moment of failure. And for me, that's when I was at SMU. You know, I had a super successful high school career at Katy High School. We won a state championship, following the footsteps of Andy Dalton. And I was riding a huge high. And I think as athletes, there's always peaks and valleys. You know, sometimes some people's peaks are a lot higher, some people's valleys are a lot lower, and they last longer, shorter times. But for me, I get signed by June Jones to come to SMU. They already had an entrenched starter as a junior. I come in, he chooses me to be the starter. And so my head gets pretty big. You know, I'm again riding this, roller coaster of emotions of going undefeated in high school, and now I'm signed to play with June Jones, who's had great quarterbacks like, Timmy Chang, Colt Brennan, and just knowing that I'm about to be throwing the ball, 50 times a game, I'm going to lead the nation in touchdowns. Well, fast forward one season, and I led the entire nation in interceptions and in sacks given up. That was one of those moments that it was a huge crash to me. It was my first kind of moment of being out there and being vulnerable and just completely failing. We had an amazing team, had a lot of great athletes. Going to my second year, and we're starting to play really well. We're 3-1, and I tear my left shoulder. I'm out for the rest of the season. I watch a young kid, Kyle Padron, come in, play great, light the world on fire. As I'm watching, I'm kind of reading the text on the wall, like, all right, my time here might be done. I've got to start looking at where I want to go, because I wasn't going to ever just kind of, it would have been easy at that moment, right? Your biggest failure, things don't live up to what you think, and then all of a sudden, it gets taken away from you. For me, in any aspect of the word, I'm a winner, and I'm a competitor at heart. You might be better than me, but you've got to show up and beat me on that day. So I think that's the mindset I've always carried. So for me, I wasn't going to allow that to be the end of my story in football. I decided to open up my transfer, and I visit Eastern Washington, and I absolutely fall in love with it. Matt Nichols is there, a former CFL quarterback. J.C. Sherritt's there, Greg Peach, a lot of guys that have played in this league and been very successful. But I got out there, and what I saw was something that I saw myself, which is guys that love this game and love to play this game. I knew right away that's where I wanted to go. So Coach Baldwin came down, he saw me throw, he saw my brother, offered him a scholarship as well, so I got to play college with my brother. This is where, to me, that moment of, all right, now it's time to really prove not only to those guys in that locker room, prove your coaches right for wanting you to come to that school and lead their team. I ended up getting voted captain for the work that I put in that, training camp off season. And that was that first kind of, that turn back towards the right way. I think the biggest thing is when you fail, you have that moment to learn. So I looked back and said, okay, why did I throw the picks? Why did we lose? Why were we unsuccessful? And what can I do to better myself? And when I first got there, Zach Hill, the quarterback coach, told me, man, it's your footwork. It's, you're lazy with your footwork. You've got to be better at it. And when I really bought into what my coaches said, bought into my teammates, hung out with them more, that's when I really started to notice the difference in myself every day, and then us as a team as well. So I'll fast forward. We go out, we win a national championship, my first year as a starter, something Eastern Washington's never done. And in that, there's a bunch of obviously little moments of failure, success, things going good, things not going good. But there was one moment that really stood out to me. We were playing our rival, Montana, and we're down by 6 points. We have 90 yards to go. I want to say a minute 30 or 2 minutes left in the game. And, American football is not like CFL. Usually if you have 2 minutes left, it's not enough time to go down there and win a game. So we're 4th and 10. I'm looking at, first time in front of my fans, us being down and having to kind of show that comeback. And truly in high school, we were so successful that, we never had to come back. And then at SMU, we never made the comebacks. So it was truly that first time for me to complete the comeback, prove it to myself. And I just remember taking this deep breath before the 4th and 10 call. I kind of stepped back away from the huddle a little bit, took that deep breath and said, man, just plant your feet, buy into what you've done, trust your mechanics, trust your read, and let the ball go. And so that's something I've done a lot since then. We complete that pass. We actually end up completing 2 more 4th downs. We drive down, we score, get the field goal to win the game. And then we as a team kind of ride that momentum into the playoffs. And we win 5 games, go on to win that championship. And the national championship, we're down by 19-0 to Delaware. President Biden, or at the time Vice President Biden's in the stands. As a kid, it's a crazy moment, but you're down 19 points. And the best part was everybody on our sideline never even considered faltering, because we had been there so many times that season, had to make that comeback so many times that we all knew it's going to take one play. So for me, that's something I've tried to carry throughout my life, was no matter how high or how low you get, and how hard you get hit, and all the cliche things you can say about overcoming adversity, it's just about taking the first step. It's something I learned as a kid, being a competitor, and something I think I've carried with me for a really long time. When Hercules Tires approached us and asked, hey, would you like to do some videos of these moments of strength? Like, I know you had to be through some things in your career. This was the very first thing that came to my head, is how do I relay to people on the other side of the camera, you guys watching this video, is how do I start to become that person that can take that first step? And again, I think it's write down the end goal, write down the goals that it's going to take to get there, and what's the first hurdle I need to get over to kind of start that process. And as you do that, you'll start to see it's going to become easier and easier, and all of a sudden you're going to be at the end goal, and you're going to look back at all the work you put in and just be really proud of yourself. But I hope you guys enjoyed the first video. We'll have more to come. Again, make sure you check out the Heart of the Art District here down on James Street. Hamilton is an absolutely beautiful city. I'm so glad to be here, and can't wait to see you guys soon.